If you're quite familiar with Peugeot, then you'll know that the first generation of 408 models used to be a sedan-type car. But with the 2023 model, the company seems to be taking the car to new levels, with a car expected for a full debut just around this time. The 2023 Peugeot 408 has been in the news for some time now, and it had even been rumoured to be a different car in the Peugeot line for the 2023 model year, but a confirmation of how it looked came soon, which ended any speculation of which car it was and which car it wasn't. With the first unveil coming just early this year in March, it's pretty safe to say that Peugeot has managed to keep the 408 a secret for far too long, with no one even having any details on how the car looked. And well, if you look at it more closely, it could just be that many of us didn't think they'd just switch up a whole model like that. Well, in today's video, we'll be taking you through the details that we have about this car, as well as an update on when to expect the full debut. Stay tuned! If you're new to this channel, this is Lavish Luxury, and if you've not already taken action, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's get you going with some of the best luxury and finance content you can think of. Now, let's head back to what we have for you today. Peugeot has been one of the leading brands in the automobile industry for quite some time now. They have produced quite a number of top cars over the years, and what they did with the 308 models was pretty decent work that got a lot of compliments from enthusiasts in the automobile space. For a car model that had also been a four-door sedan for its first 3 generations, the car companies seemed to move on from there and produce something that can be called a crossover coupe. Quite interestingly, a couple of spy cams had seen the 408 in action just a couple of months ago. But because Peugeot had only done something similar with other models, it wasn't expected that they would switch up like that. In what was seen, many people had expected the car to be the Peugeot 4008, due to its size as well as how it looked. Interestingly though, the company pulled off a shocker and would come forward with an unveiling of what the car would look like. And lo and behold, it was exactly the one that had been thought to be a completely different car. It just appeared that Peugeot had moved on from sedan and straight into a crossover fastback, something that the company had also made a point of mentioning in a statement that was released. The company said, "The Peugeot 408 will be a brand new model in the Lion brand range. Unexpectedly, it is a new species of Peugeot. In an original way, it combines the characteristic codes of SUV with a dynamic fastback silhouette. Both in terms of design and engineering, the search for high efficiency and the desire to offer new experiences were at the heart of the development of the new Peugeot 408. Aimed at those for whom the automobile is a pleasure, the 408 brings an unprecedented allure to the Peugeot family. Though the car was completely different in range, it still retained some little details from other cars in the previous models. The car was described to be a new species of Peugeot cars and was meant to bring something much different, and it's been rumoured that it could mean a new era for the cars from the French car company. In the teaser picture that was released by the company, the front of the new Peugeot 408 can be seen with the company's typical grille with a zigzag mesh pattern, while also having the 408 badge on top of it. To add to that, it is also expected to have a sloping roofline behind the B-pillars, as well as slim LED lighting units at both ends. It is much expected that the car would still sit on a much-stretched EMP2 platform, and even from what the grille looks like, it is expected that the car would come with a combustion engine under the bonnet. There have also been talks about the car coming with high efficiency, and many believe that this is a reference to the electrified powertrain range that could come with the car. While there is still no information on that, Auto Evolution believes the car will launch with gasoline units, some of which will feature mild hybrid assistance. There is also hope that a plug-in hybrid variant could be in that line too, with a battery electric variant also to be considered. In terms of quality, the 408 is not expected to be too far off from the other models that came with previous generations, including the outgoing model. It has even been rumoured that the model will sit right in between the Peugeot 308 hatchback and the Peugeot 3008 compact crossover SUV. Whether this is the case or not is something that we'll have to wait to see. And with a surprise coming with how the 408 looked, we surely cannot rule out any other ones from the company. Well, as a bit of good news though, Peugeot has been doing some testing with the car for quite a while now, with the car even being put through several kinds of conditions, including some harsh conditions. The testing for the car was said to have begun a little around last year, and the 408 project director Emmanuel Laforêt seemed to shed more light on it. He said, "Our objective is excellence. We are not working to test the core quality of the new Peugeot 408, but also its customer performance, i.e. any situation its user may encounter. For every test, we exaggerate the constraints, on the road as well as in the laboratories and on the test benches. We're extremely demanding with ourselves in order to achieve the excellence we are striving for. It is a real pleasure to work hard on this project because in the team we are all in love with the new 408. To add to the testing of the car on the road, the project director also seemed to confirm that the car had also been tested in the lab too, with Peugeot's addition of the wind tunnels and a 4-post bench seeming able to simulate the most extreme stresses to measure the car's structural fatigue. It's impossible for a human being to stay behind the wheel and endure the torture that this machine imposes on the vehicle. With Peugeot's parent company, Stellantis, wanting to have a full electric lineup of consumer models in Europe by 2030, it is safe to say that an E408 cannot be ruled out, especially with the E308 and Opel Astra E expected to be part of the 2023 model lineup. The first generation Peugeot 408 debuted in January 2010 at the Beijing Motor Show. The car was a long wheelbase version of the 308 to create more room for the occupants in the rear. At the time, it was believed that Peugeot planned to sell about 100,000 of this car every year, and perhaps they're working in accordance with their plan for next year's new look model. If you're curious to find out when we'll be getting more information as well as the buzzing details expected from the car, Peugeot announced that it would be premiering the car towards the end of June, with some even believing that this would come on the 22nd of June. If that is anything to believe, then you can surely expect that the premiere is upon us, and before the end of the month, we would have a good look at what Peugeot has got in store with the car and what you can expect when you get the car. If you're looking to compare though, or have an idea of what car could compete with it, then you should look out for the Renault Arcana that became the first mass-market SUV coupe with 4 doors when it was first released, making it top of its game as well as a worthy competitor to most of its rivals. Whether the 408 will perform better or close to how the Arcana did will be left to be seen, though we do expect it to be an amazing entry from Peugeot. What are your thoughts on the car? With a car already thought to be the 4008, how do you think the 4008 model will look now? And do you think the 408 has the potential to be top of its game? Kindly respond in the comments section. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well as turn on the notification bell button. See you in the next video.